So just a quick little review or, heads up if you do not watch The Order on Netflix. I already tried to get you guys to watch season 1 back when that dropped because I really enjoyed it. But season 2 dropped, I don't know, a few months ago. I just couldn't get to it, but I was really looking forward to it. So the other day, I think 2 days ago, I sat down and I watched the whole thing in one day, one sitting. And holy shit, I loved this season. I was really surprised by how much I enjoyed this. So in the first season has this very structured, linear storytelling where there is an overarching arc throughout the entire season that leads to the climax and the villain and, the fight against him. And I liked that because I really liked some of the characters, and I liked the fun that they were having with it. Now, if for those of you who don't know what this is a show set at a college, and this kid is a werewolf, and he goes and he tries to infiltrate a coven of witches that is there on the premises, and they're like this really, really badass order of witches. And he ends up falling in love with one of the girls who's a witch there, and so it's like witches versus werewolves. Now, it almost feels like a CW show in its tone at times, like kind of the way the actors look and some of the melodrama between them and whatnot at times, and some of the playfulness of the comedy within it. But it's also R-rated. It's also got gore. It's also got lots of F-bombs and some nudity and everything. So it's like this really weird blend of almost like a teen show, but R-rated. And I just really enjoy the hell out of it. But what's different about this season is broken into, it's 10 episodes like it was last season, except for every 2 episodes is one story. Now, it does all culminate to something climatic at the end, so the stories do build on top of themselves, but they're almost self-contained arcs within those 2 episode, the little 2 episode arcs format, whatever. And it felt more like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer or an X-Files or Supernatural or something, and mixed with Harry Potter, because Harry Potter was feelings I was getting, the way that the Order works and all that stuff, but an R-rated Harry Potter. But in this one, it's more of a monster of the week kind of thing for the first 3 stories. And man, I was all there for it. And there's some comedy that just lands right and left for me. There was a few lines in this that had me fucking cackling, dude. I was straight up from the belly crying. I thought some of this stuff was so funny. I was laughing about it for 5 minutes after. I still just kept chuckling after, just some of the lines really, really landed. And I feel like they did a really good job of, putting more care into characters that I didn't care about that much in the first season, like Hey Mitch and the other guy that's there as well. And then they built on the relationship between the 2 main characters, the werewolf and the witch. And that all just really worked for me. I loved this season. Now, if you didn't like the first season, I don't think this is going to win you over. If you liked the first season, I think that this is considerably better. And as I said, I really liked the first season. So this is a big step up, and that's very impressive. And man, they better renew this. I'll be so bummed if this does not get a 3rd season, because where it ends, I was like, oh man, what now? I've got to see this next season. It has not been renewed yet, and I am very worried about it because Netflix is canceling shit right and left. They just canceled I'm Not Okay With This. They just canceled some other show. I'm trying, the Legion, something. I just saw it and I was like, dude, do not announce that you're canceling this. I can't take it. Please, please, please give this another season. It's got Catherine Isabel in it too, and she's a witch in this, not a werewolf like she is in Ginger Snaps, and she's awesome. She's like the Grand Magus. She's the head of the witches in this, and she's so funny and she's so good. She's such a bitch, and I love it. I really have 0 complaints about this season. I was really, really impressed. I had such a fun time. there's this line where they're at like a diner or something. I don't want to say what the line is, but it's just one of the characters comes up to them and starts talking to them, and she was terrible to them. Like she was almost like an enemy. She was really of the last season, and he just kind of like brings that back up to them. Like, hey, remember? That line slayed me. That was the funniest shit I've heard in weeks. I loved it. I loved everything about it. So, yeah, let me know if you check it out. As I said, it's kind of got a teenish vibe to it, almost like a Riverdale or something like that, but more R-rated. So if that seems like something you're interested in, if for some reason you still haven't checked this out, there's 2 seasons out now. Please watch it so that it gets more ratings. So people, up in Netflix will be like, yeah, let's get a 3rd season going. People seem to like this thing. So let me know. Please watch it. Just check it out. Watch an episode or 2. See. Let me know. Adios.